5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Malcolm, thank you for being here.
Yes,
thank you for tuning in and joining us on this journey. We are joined by our boy Bala. He's in the building today.
Shout out to Big B Bala.
Big B Bala. This has been a long time coming. Bala was supposed to be here a lot of weeks now.
I've been sitting in this room.
Yes, you have been a guest here before.
While you guys have done the show.
That's a fact.
And Loki's the third member of the Nick and Mal show. You see, he's merched out.
You
are the honorary member of the Nick and Mal show.
I have merch.
Merch out the ass.
Than I need.
And he was showing mad love at his Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you for that.
You know what I mean?
Pops came to the car right yesterday. Pops came to the car, and he gave me the shirt. And then he looked at my shirt and seen I was wearing the black Nick and Mal shirt. And then he hit me and was like, "Are y'all selling clothes?
Come on, we got that merch out the ass."
But I told Pops, I was like, nah, not right now. You know, we just focus on our own stuff. Right. I told him we had the white T-shirt, black T-shirt, we got the hoodies. So
the merch is exclusive right now. If y'all want it, hit us up with a ridiculous price that we can't refuse. Yeah, it is a uniform. Yeah, I was actually thinking yesterday though. Do you think we need to ditch the merch eventually for just straight up drip? Because I've seen like
what's drip exactly?
Just get fly. Like maybe,
like your own.
Eventually, when we get our own studio, which is the eventual goal, I think we need to ditch the merch. What do you think?
Ditch? Oh, like give it out to the people?
No, just get dressed up. Yeah, get dressed up for our shows.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, we were walking Billboard. Yeah.
But you know what it is? I've seen other people doing it, and I'm like, is it not as original as we thought? Not that I'm hating on those other people, but you know what I mean? Everything has to be original.
I mean, I feel prideful wearing my Nick and Mal shirt. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a fact.
You know, because I see other people that don't have their own shirt, and like that's step one right there.
I don't know. I see it's working.
It is working.
When we were out and about, people were like, "What is this Nick and Mal show?"
We went out.
You just start talking. I gotta get on your wave of just talking to people. I don't know how to just talk to people like you guys do.
Yeah, you said a lot. I think you're kind of hard on yourself. I think you do a good job of communicating with people.
I'm very hard on myself.
I am too, but how do we work on that? Let's have that conversation.
Acknowledging it, knowing that you're hard on yourself and you should take a break. I've been doing some deep breathing when I'm like really getting hard on myself, and now I'll be sitting there and it's just thoughts start running, thoughts running, and I'll sit there, do some deep breathing, and I'm like, all right, and then I'll start slouching too if I'm just like I'm everywhere else except where I am. Like I'm not in the present. I'm just everywhere else.
Yes.
I'm so hard on myself about that.
Yeah. Yesterday, so a couple things. Number one, you're never doing as bad as you think you are, and you're never doing as good as you think you are.
Right.
So even when I'm feeling really confident and I feel like we just fucking bodied an episode and I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan's level, it's days where I feel like that. And I'm like, Nick, calm down. You're just experiencing a rush of fucking endorphins right now. You need to relax. And on the bad days, you need to have that same balance, right? But what caused that, you think? Because I experienced the same thing. Malcolm, do you have the same issue where you get down on yourself too much sometimes?
Honestly, wait, talking to people?
No. Just...
Oh, in general?
Yeah.
I'm probably being ignorant right now. Honestly, I'm going to say right now, nah, not really, because I feel like... Everything on my side, I feel like it's just more of just doing. But I'm probably being ignorant. I can't think of nothing right now.
No, that's how you are.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say to you is what you said was key. You're talking about taking time and breathing. And I was explaining to Malcolm yesterday about how I've started meditating.
Right.
And meditating is not in the sense of you sitting in a dark room with your legs folded and, you know what I mean? It could be driving in your car.
Yeah.
Like taking deep breath and letting these thoughts pass through your mind without judgment.
Yeah. Just focus.
Yes.
Focus.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing, do it. Don't be thinking about what this person said that one time that's got you feeling this type of way. Don't think about something that you could have done a different way to get you into a different position. Just whatever you're doing, just do that. Be there for that.
Be there for that.
But also, it's very hard to do that sometimes. Like I'll try to catch myself. Past couple of weeks, I've actually been, my mind's been racing a lot. And I've been trying to just get back to where I am. Just sit there, breathe. Yoga, I used to do a lot of yoga.
Oh my fucking God.
That was the most like concentrated and focused I've ever been, where like my anxiety wasn't just riddling and crippling me.
Do you suffer from bad anxiety?
I do. I think I've definitely gotten better. I definitely acknowledged it. There was a time when I was just having these feelings and I never was able to acknowledge. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, I just think this is how you feel.
Yes.
This is how I feel.
Lucky for me, right? And this is why, shout out to Charlemagne the God. And this is, no, seriously. Honestly, bro, this is why I want to do the podcasting thing. I want to be, you know what I mean? I like doing this talk. It doesn't only have to be podcasting because it could be radio. And I'm sure in the next 10, 20 years, going to be a lot more different platforms to just do this talking thing on and connect with people. Charlemagne, he's big on mental health. And I didn't realize anxiety in myself until college. Mm-hmm. You probably was around me when I first started experiencing anxiety. I remember one time I was in Long Island and I forgot what happened. I think I came to your house and you were just like, yo, Nick, what's wrong? I'm like, bro, I'm having a really bad anxiety attack right now. I always knew what it was because Charlemagne the God always talks about it. So for me, I always had that like, okay, I know what's going on. Because if I didn't, I might have thought something was wrong with me. Like,
right.
Yo, why do I feel like this?
Yeah.
Nothing is wrong, but yet I feel like everything is wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like something is not good in the world right now. It's a weird feeling.
For sure.
For me personally, I kind of remember what set off my anxiety. Because it's not something that I suffered from as a kid.
Right.
For me personally, it was, and fuck it, I could talk about it, you know what I mean? Because we all change, we all grow. It was being unfaithful to my then girlfriend in college. And when I would do something stupid, like cheat, unfortunately, it would weigh on me crazy. And that we're talking like you're being hard on yourself. I would fucking kill myself mentally. Yeah. And that started like, oh shit, like you just feel anxious. And also smoking weed, you know what I mean? A lot of times, I used to smoke weed. You have anxiety attacks. And the first time I really experienced it when I wasn't high or I didn't do something bad, it fucking creeped me out. I'm like, why do I feel like this? I don't know. But that shit is important, man. Do you?
No, for sure.
For you, was it something that you always had occurring, or?
I think it's definitely been a long time. We were having some discussions on the way over here about just like throughout life, you have like there might be expectations that people set on you, or you set on yourself, even
big part of it. Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you might not even want to meet those expectations, but they're put on you, and then you're going out of your way doing things you don't want to do to meet these expectations. And they're unwanted. Yes. And then it's just you're battling that. I don't even want to do that, but I feel like I owe it to the people around me to do it.
Or I'm doing something and I feel like the people around me wouldn't approve of it.
Yeah.
Like your parents.
Right.
Yeah.
And that plays a major role into, you know, affecting you as a person. But at the end of the day, I mean, as you get older, I feel like it becomes better.
Not necessarily.
No, well, what I'm saying is, like, in that certain situation, it becomes better because you got to look at yourself in the mirror and know what you're doing, who you're doing it for, truthfully. And if you're really doing something. Because if you're really doing nothing, then that's the problem. Like, if you're doing nothing and you feel like you need to, you know, make everyone else proud and you're doing nothing, well, then, yeah, you should make everyone else proud. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing something else that you like and you love and you know, you feel comfortable doing, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing because you're taking the right steps and making yourself happy and being prideful. You understand?
Even that gets hard sometimes, right? Like for me with nursing school, obviously I do want to be a nurse, but there's a bunch of other things that I really want to do in life, right? And sometimes I feel like going to nursing school and taking a year and a half off my life might be stealing from my actual joy. But even though I know, okay, let's say I don't go to nursing school. I know what I'm doing is right. There's still going to be a certain level of anxiety. Like, am I letting my mom down? Am I making the wrong decisions? Like, is this a decision I'm going to regret 10 years from now? You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Like mentally, like when I process it, like if I don't go to nursing school, it's for a very specific fucking reason.
And let me tell you this. Just look at the when you go to work, just look at the people around you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what motivates me for this show. Because you go to work, you just look at the people around you. Okay, like I talked about this before. You don't want to be in their shoes, and they don't want to be in your shoes. Don't let them understand you. Keep going, bro. Don't let them understand you. Like, when I post now, it's all motivational stuff. Bet on yourself. That's a fact. Bet on yourself. Put all the chips on yourself, because why I'm going to put a chip into someone else's? They not doing nothing.
Hell no.
Big saying is, this ain't the 80s no more.
That's definitely...
Where's the money? I'm sorry. No. But where's the money at? Online. If you're not trying to make money online, you come on. Yeah. I talked to one lady at the store. She told me, I used to work with her at the restaurant. She's not going to see this, but...
How you know, bro?
Shout out lady at the restaurant. Shout out lady at the restaurant.
Nah, I'm not shouting her out. She did some corny shit. But listen, you know, and so I seen her at Target. I'm speaking to her, and you know the whole pandemic happened, and she works at a restaurant. So you know you take a L, right? Right. She telling me, yeah, I gotta celebrate Christmas in February. If things don't go its way, if part 2 comes around.
Wouldn't you just skip the Christmas at that point?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
exactly,
facts,
Christmas,
like,
Valentine's Day. But you understand the mindset?
Yeah.
You see what I'm going at? Like,
pushing it
that's
off.
because you ain't never bet on yourself for anything. You never challenge yourself for anything. Right. You look at people, why didn't you challenge yourself in school? Like, you know, why is this the end road? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how it really has to be. Like, this is the perfect, you in your 20s, you young, no matter what age you are, do something. Stop letting everything outside of you, that's how I look at it, affect you, because I don't like being around those people. I don't like dealing with those people. And I come to realization, you don't even want to speak to those type of people because you're wasting time. You can't learn nothing from them. Yeah. And that's how it has to be. And that's why you see certain people don't speak to us, because they're on a higher level.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yo, that's crazy you talk about that, because Jay West, last year, like, I was in a weird place, but like, I was always hanging out with Jay West. That's the guy. And I was just so negative all the time. I was like, this sucks, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. And he's just like, yo, you gotta stop chilling with me if you're just gonna be negative about this all the time.
Kept it real with you.
Kept it real. He's like, yo, you're just so negative about everything. Like, everything comes out of your mouth, you're just negative. I was like, yo, that's facts, and my bad. I'm bringing negative energy into your life. And that had nothing to do with it.
That had to change you, because I met you a few months ago, and you're, I would say, the total opposite.
Right.
I've seen times where Malcolm has been a little negative Nancy, and you had to, like, yeah, bro, this, you know what I mean? Everything's gonna be okay. By the way, as my brother and as someone else love you, I think you might be wasting your talent. I think you need to be a sergeant in the military or something. Like, honestly, bro, the way you talk is just so crazy.
How I got you feeling?
You got me feeling like I should run through a brick wall right now. No. This dude doesn't have emotions. He doesn't fucking understand people that don't do shit, which is okay. But you should be have you ever thought about going to the military?
I actually did.
When? What was this about?
I'll say, nah.
Actually, come on, let's talk about it. What happened?
No, I'm saying sometimes, you know, when you get home from college, things don't always go your way. Okay. And then, you know, so
was this like, the first semester after you got kicked out of Utica?
It's just like, I guess the beginning of the year, like, shit happens, like, because you know what it is? Also, you want to get away from the people back home, too. You know, that's a major step that Bala made. Well, I'm proud of that, too. But you want to be away from people. And financially, I didn't have it. So it's another way to get away from people. It will be going to the military. But I'm happy where I'm at, bro. If people don't understand me, like I said,
that's what I've been on lately.
Yeah. You just brought up a great point. I never understood why the military has such like a strong base of people. They're always going to have recruits. It's because they really do save people from their whatever they're going through. Like, they literally take the worst of the worst, you at your lowest, and you could say, all right, at very fucking least, let me go to the military.
You get benefits.
Yeah, they get money.
Bro, you don't have to stay. Yeah, exactly.
You get money, but you're sure you're going to be getting piped down. Piped down diesel.
For how long, though?
But then there's also...
It matters?
No, what I'm saying is you don't need to be there for a very long time.
You do your contract, whatever. You can re-enlist. You don't have to re-enlist, whatever. And then also, like, you could just be going state to state, different forts, meeting new people, this, that. You could find a lot of benefits in it. But then there's the people that suffer the consequences of it. Of
that motherfucking war.
of that war.
Yo, if you were a girl and you cheat on a dude at war, you are a disgusting fucking human being.
Yeah, you going to hell.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That is so wild. Like, this nigga is protecting your life. And you got a nigga in your guts right now?
He protected him too.
You protected? Oh my God.
In your guts.
What if he don't know though? What if he don't know?
See, if he don't know, then she's still foul then.
She's foul.
That is.
But he not foul though. He not foul.
No,
if he don't know, he not foul.
You know.
But what? I don't know, man. There's so
What
many
is those
different
military
possibilities
boots
of
in
what
the
this could
corner?
be. What happened?
He knows. What's military boots? That's a size 18, bitch. Is that Tyree Coble's shoes? Yo, listen though. I came to the realization that this week that feminism is the most anti-feminist shit ever.
Talk to him.
So apparently, this is about to sound crazy, but apparently, I think in the 1800s or whenever women was going through this like really strong fight for equality,
Women's suffrage.
one of the things that they picked up was, do you remember?
No. What?
Smoking cigarettes. That was one of the ways that they were like, okay, we're powerful now. I'm going to smoke cigarettes.
Hey, but
unfortunately, they didn't know that was going to kill millions of them.
But no one knew that though at that time. And that was more like a luxury thing.
I get it, but feminism caused that. Technically, feminism caused the death of millions of women and the suffering.
Hey,
right?
man, I don't know, but cigarettes, especially back then, got the manly men smoking these cigarettes, and they're like, we could do it too. You're not that great.
But that's the thing. Don't do what we do.
But that's what it was all about. That's the equal rights. That's what it's all about.
That's only one part of it. So then you have like women who are like, yo, we want to act like men, right? Men want to sleep around. We want to sleep around too. Men want to do this. We want to do this too. Men are vulgar and they say what the fuck ever in their music and they're disrespectful to us. They talk about fucking us and everything. We want to do it too. Herein comes Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion WAP. And that was something for women empowerment, right? Yeah, like, yo, we're going to talk about that WAP. We're going to be vulgar. Well, unfortunately, I was telling Malcolm this earlier this week. I don't know if this is fucked up or not, but I refer to all women as WAP now.
Like, that's a nice, fine WAP.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm in New Jersey now, and I'm at my job. I work in a warehouse. And it's a fucking warehouse. I don't expect any good-looking women to be working in a warehouse. I don't expect any fucking women to be working in a warehouse. So I see this dude, he walks out, and he walks by with this badass shorty. I'm like, yo, she looks really good. Like, this nigga came to work and got him some WAP. It was so natural, but is that fucked up?
I don't know.
Nah, not at all. You don't know her. She's a piece of WAP.
But that's the thing. Now I'm objective.
She came from the WAP factory.
Exactly. I'm objectifying women now, all due to women.
Speaking about Meg Thee Stallion, she was on Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago, and she had this. She was doing the Savage song, and in the middle of the song, she was like talking about like Black Lives Matter. Like they do like this whole break in the
police
song.
brutality
and police brutality stuff. And she's like, we need to stand together as black people, whatever she's saying. And then as soon as she stops talking, she goes, I'm a savage. Bro, and it was just the juxtaposition of that was so funny to me. I respect the message entirely.
Shut up and dribble.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. I want to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up because when I seen that, I actually seen it.
Shut up and twerk.
That's basically what you should tell her
Pop that
because
WAP. Like what you talking about all that other shit for? I'm sorry, guys. I'm being silly.
No, seriously,
Seriously,
you don't do that. Like you don't. Whatever the song was, it wasn't WAP though, right?
It was the Savage.
It was
Savage
song. I'm a savage.
You don't do that. Like that's OD ratchet, bro. Like just OD ratchet. I respect that as a woman. Like I think I have heard that she's going to school and she does the music.
She actually has her degree, I think.
Exactly.
She
so
graduated.
Congratulations for that reason, but that just shows you the mindset of certain people that's really listen to this and that thinks that's okay. That's not a very good
What's
mindset.
What's not okay about it though?
That you're singing the song Savage and in the middle of your song dancing, ass showing, looking good, blah blah blah. And you do that. Like that song is not powerful.
I would say it's not the time and place to do that.
Exactly. It's not the time and place to do that. Like you need my guy Todd Billy to be speaking like that. Shout out Todd Billy.
Shout out Todd Billy. No, you're right. I've always heard it growing up my whole life.
Hold on.
There's
You
a
talk
time
about
and
that?
place for everything. Do not be talking about Black Lives Matter and then you burst into WAP.
But here's
Personally, I don't know.
No, that's true. Here's the thing.
I feel like that would get that would get like some attention. You got some people like looking. Oh, look at these cheeks.
Was she doing that twerk move where she swing down and?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let me give y'all something here. Damn, I forgot where I'm going.
Marketing strategy. That's what I think.
That's true.
Take
but
your
look,
time,
so
buddy.
look, you could say that. Yeah, let me give me some time, guys. But let me say this. You know that there was a commercial with strippers, right, shaking their ass, and then they was like, "Ooh, I got your attention. Now it's time to vote." Well, here's my thing on it, right? What's the easiest thing for a black person to do to cause change? And I'm glad I'm bringing it up on the podcast. It's the vote. They tell you to vote. No, listen. That's the easiest thing.
I don't agree.
All right. So let me break it down to you like this before I forget. Everyone tell you to vote, right? Do we know vote truly bring change? Yes, voting truly brings change. But here's the problem that I'm dealing with a lot of people. People vote, things happen. They think their life changed, things change forever, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking like, bro, all these $1 million black people tell you to vote. Dr. Umar Joshua was talking about this. He was like, yo, bro, because it's easy. They tell you to vote, but they don't actually want you to do shit. They don't want you to get out the bed. Let me finish. They don't want you to get out the bed, actually tax yourself, right? Take money out and put it in some type of fund for the black community. So when he said that, I started thinking, I'm like, yo, all these millionaires, all these wealthy black people gonna tell you to vote, right? That brings changes. And I was thinking, yo, why don't we just tax them 1% of their yearly income, right? Or people that make over $10 million, black people that make over $10 million. We know a lot. We go to NBA, NFL, businessmen, musicians, whatever. You make over $10 million, we're gonna tax 1%.
Who's doing the taxing?
Who's doing it? No, nigga, this is just an idea. Okay. So it's not everything is set in stone. It's just an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a fun, like, let's say the NAACP starts this up. NAACP now says, yo, if you make, as a black person, if you make over $10 million, we're going to tax only 1% of your income, and that tax money is going into a fund to help support black neighborhoods. So for educational purposes, give them something to do, right? That's a big problem I feel like a lot of black neighborhoods have. So why are we just tell people to vote, but we really not, well, we could just take 1% of your money, put it all together, and to really cause change, because voting doesn't cause change in your neighborhood. That's
That's a great idea, and I was thinking about something similar earlier. We could talk about it a little bit later, but that's a great idea you have. But in the era of transsexuals, we're gonna have a lot of transracials if that's the case. A lot of motherfuckers will come like, bro, I'm not black no more. I'm 10% Native American or something like that.
They already have people like that.
But
transracials?
Yeah, what was that girl?
Rachel Dolezal? Dolezal. That's a lady who was the head of the NAACP when she was white the whole time. Yeah, she was white the whole time. Rachel, you never heard about that story?
I heard the whoever like runs Black Lives Matter are white people.
Word?
That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
But are they pretending to be black?
I don't know.
Yo, the thing about Rachel Dolezal is like people really shitted on her for pretending to be black, but I thought it wasn't that bad of a thing. Like, if you, as a white person, we talk about white privilege all the time. If you want to sacrifice your white privilege to be black, shouldn't that be commended? No,
I mean, I want to know what the purpose was for her to be the. Like,
I think she was. I think she truly loved the black community, and she was literally the head of the biggest body that helps black people, the NAACP.
I was actually thinking this the other day, what you're talking about, like how they talk about cultural appropriation and everything, and like people.
Cultural appropriation is a dumb concept, but go ahead.
Right, but like people find it offensive most of the time.
Yeah,
it's from what I've seen and heard. But I feel like it's appreciation.
It's natural.
What is that?
Right.
Cultural appropriation is technically like easiest example. Kylie Jenner rocks the fucking box braids, and they're like, "Oh, you're making something popular that black women have been doing for a long time, and even some of them have been judged for it." Get it? I get the little nuances within cultural appropriation, especially with the climate of racism in America. But cultural appropriation as a whole, it's so dumb because that's literally what people do. You take the best parts of certain cultures and you fucking adapt it.
That's what we learned in high school history class, cultural diffusion.
Yes.
These people go into different countries and they're like, wow, this is great tradition that these guys do. This is great food. I'm going to start doing this. And then that group of people, they move to another place and they're like, look at this stuff
Guess
I'm bringing to you guys. Just spreading the wealth.
That's how you fucking create society. You could go back to Africa in the most tribal stuff. You conquer a tribe. Oh, they have a cool way of making pots. We're going to take that and we're going to infiltrate it into our society, right? You come to America, you go to there's cultural appropriation everywhere. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of it.
Because it's easy to talk about it, bro.
That's
People like
it,
easy
yeah.
shit.
I feel like some people definitely go out of their I don't know.
Bro, it's a lazy man sport. Boss up, go create a business sign, bro. That's why I tell those type of people. Stop being a social warrior.
And that's back to what you were saying about why. Okay, so voting is important, and
Very important.
I was gonna disagree with you saying that is the single most important thing a black person could do. I think the single most important thing a black person can do is to be a good representation of black people, because I think the number one issue with black people in America, especially after slavery and we were trying to become first class citizens, was our perception. So if you're a black guy and you are carrying you're intelligent, you're well dressed, you're smart, you're intellectual, you don't fit all these stereotypes, you get angry and you get riled up. I think if you're a good representation of black people, that is the number one most single important thing a black person could do, right? You was talking about the voting thing. Yes, it's so dumb that they tell us all to vote and then say nothing after that.
Thank you.
It's like voting is going to bed early in search of a productive day the next day.
Thank you.
That is the very first thing that you have to do.
You.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's going to bed early so that you have the opportunity to have a productive day, right? Without going to bed, the whole day is fucked. Without voting, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole day to go body. You know what I mean? And after you vote, you have a whole country, a whole system to go body, but we don't pay attention to that.
This is what talks. But at the end of the day, people want this, and they're
people
gonna keep their mouth shut when they get this.
And then people enroll in the electoral college.
Exactly. Electoral college.
That's a callback.
Hey, I go to electoral college.
I go to electoral college, brother. Trump is finessing the electoral college, yo.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
So, and we discussed this shortly yesterday. So, Trump has been going to all these different courts and stuff, and in search, what everyone thought was to literally get votes overturned.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something called a faithless elector, where your state can win. So let's say Joe Biden wins a specific state. Those electoral votes are pledged to Joe Biden. Right? But those people can use discretion, and if they think something funny happened or he's not fit to be president, they can become a faithless elector in which they vote for another candidate. They grant their vote to another candidate. And I think that's what Trump was going to courts and stuff for, so he can sway public opinion. No difference to how a really good lawyer is going to put good press out there about the person he's defending.
Okay.
Right? It happened with Casey Anthony, the lady who killed her kids. Yeah. Listen, man, all her lawyer did was a perception game so that we could influence the jury. Oh, this is a good girl. Like, nothing is wrong with her. Why would she kill her kid?
Right.
And it was so blatant that she killed her kid, and she was found not guilty. I think Trump is doing the same thing. I think they found like 20,000 ballots that went missing. That's not going to change the election.
What do you think? You think it's a true election, or there's something going on?
I'm not going to be conspiracy theory, Nick. Like, that's so hard to prove. Like, no one could be. Yeah. And I think there's more to lose by questioning that than to actually find the real answer.
That's like the whole simulation theory where, yeah, people might think you're living in a simulation, but if you're living in a simulation, you're living. You're living. This is your reality. This is what you know.
Exactly.
So do what you will.
You still going to die in that simulation.
Something's going to happen to you.
Do you think video game characters are scared to die in their simulation?
Yo, I be thinking like my Call of Duty character, he's just like, oh my God, this dude sucks.
So we technically
murked all
Are we
day.
technically fucking murderers, bro?
We're definitely You play Red Dead Redemption?
I killed Crash Bandicoot mad times, bro.
Nah, y'all funny as
You ever
hell.
play Red Dead Redemption? It's when GTA.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption is GTA but it's the Old West. You're riding horses and stuff, and just there's no rules, and you could just kill whoever. You could do whatever you want. You could lasso people and drag them through the. It's pretty dark sometimes, and like,
For real?
sometimes I'd be throwing dudes off the water fountain and stuff, off the waterfall.
I never got into those dark, weird games.
That's not a weird game, bro. It's just a Wild Wild West GTA. You ever play Grand Theft Auto? Okay, it's just a Wild Wild West. You call it a weird game.
I played Vice City, San Andreas. You feel me? This was in Trinidad though on the PS1.
And then you went out and you were doing that stuff too, right?
Oh no, that's how I started playing the game. They was like, "Yo, do you know that your life? They depict your life in a game."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Word." I'm like, it's way easier to get away from the cops here.
Nah, you wild.
But shout out to GTA. You know what I mean? We GTA lifestyle. They don't. What you laughing at? They don't know what GTA lifestyle mean.
God, dapped them up. You guys are funny.
Get to assets, people. Get to that breach.
That's a funny way to look at video games. Now I'm about to be hurt. What about my 2K character?
Oh, he's about to get kicked out of the league.
He's losing his contract.
Nigga average 1.2 points a game.
Like, damn.
But he got a crazy layup package, though.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's all he's got. He can play for the Globetrotters.
Exactly.
They should have that.
That would be hot.
If you're not good enough for the league, they send you to the Globetrotters.
Nah, I like that idea. And you just win every time?
Yeah, you just win every time doing crazy tricks. You're not playing by the rules either. Traveling, double dribbling.
Bow.
Can I get weird for a second?
They're weird.
So I was learning about quantum biology yesterday. Are you aware with quantum physics?
Yeah, well, I have a very basic knowledge of it.
So the essence of it, and as you said, I'm a fucking moron. I do not know what it technically is, but technically what it is, it's physics or biology. There's quantum biology also that is not explained with our current understanding of physics and biology.
Right, and it's like space dimensions.
Yeah,
like all that stuff.
Yeah. If you ever heard someone talk about, oh, we're in two places at one time and we can be at either place, you know what I mean? That kind of conversation, that's quantum physics.
Right.
Quantum biology is something similar where we see cells interact in a certain way, but maybe there is this invisible force that might be affecting things that we don't readily understand. For example, with birds fly south in winter, fly back north, and it's like, how do they know where the fuck they're going? And what the quantum biologists think is that there's some evolution has allowed us to interact with quantum biology to create for certain animals, if it's beneficial, they would adopt something like that. You know what I mean? For example, they said the smell senses of sharks. Before blood hits the water, the shark smells it. Well, how the fuck do they smell the blood before it hits the water? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And I was thinking, if there's these invisible forces that interact with biology that we can't see, I started thinking about death, right? And I've had this thought about death where, do people that's about to die kind of know they're about to die before they die? Like, is there a sensation? Sure. You think so?
For sure. Not all the time, but there's definitely.
And I'm not only talking about someone that's on a deathbed. I'm talking about someone that might be crossing the street and 10 seconds before they get hit by a bus, they have this weird sensation. Yeah. Right? Because I started thinking that maybe death can be a function of quantum biology, right? Why do people only live to 120 years old? Like, why is that the cap of age? What in cellular?
I don't think it's the cap. It's the current cap, but we're always growing.
Right.
Like, it was like 30 at one point.
Okay.
Like, damn. Word. You gotta have a kid when you 15.
Yo, like all the people in ancient Greece, all the politicians there, whatever you would call them, I don't know,
the philosophers,
the diplomats there.
Yeah.
They were like 40, and they were these
clocked out, and they were old and wise.
That's crazy.
I mean,
think about how you have to live your life, though. You only have 40 years, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro.
We think we got all the time in the world till we get to 40. Then we're like,
yeah, but think how smart you are now.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why time is relative.
I think I'm smart, and I can only imagine if I had 5 more years to live. And I would be like,
but life was such bullshit back then.
Yeah,
Though.
it was
Like
weird.
you go
Why is it bullshit?
because you go read up these guys' fucking Wikipedias, and this guy was an astronaut, a doctor, a physicist,
That's a fact.
a lawyer.
That's
like,
a
yo,
fact. That's
how
a
did you
fact.
achieve that in 20
That's a
years?
fact. That's a
Like,
fact.
Yo, life was such bullshit back then. You might have to take like a little test.
If you know how to read and write, that's a lawyer. That's a
lawyer
teacher
right there.
That's
I
an
want-
entrepreneur.
I want him to represent me in court.
He's a physical therapist.
he's a podcaster.
He knows how to. It says it. He know how to stretch him.
But
Hey.
wait, whoa,
Hey.
what the
Hey.
fuck?
Who said that?
Yo, what are you
Who said
talking
that?
about,
You
bro?
said that.
Who said that? Y'all hear something crazy? See, y'all
Wait,
had,
can I finish my quantum biology?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead though, but go ahead. I just want to get back to it.
Yeah, we gonna get back to it. But like, I was in a tone of ready to go to war,
Talk
and
to
then
me.
I had this just now.
Okay.
Cause like, I was talking, that spiritual talk, that bag talk. But then I realized we had something to do after the show. And then I was trying to enlighten myself, lighten it up. So I'm good.
Wait.
What do you have to go to war about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just anxious.
So you do
'cause I
suffer
had
from.
this Dunkin'
So
coffee.
you do
Dunkin'
suffer
coffee.
from anxiety.
No, I don't suffer from anxiety. Nah, like I just ready to play football and shit. Like,
You were ready to play football.
like we had to go play a game right now. I'm run for 200, but I had to realize. But I was angry.
That's regular.
I was
for Guala.
angry, but then I had
Was
to
something
realize that
said
I'm
that
here.
made you angry?
Not because I was talking to y'all in that type of tone. So it took a while to
No, you do
die
get
down.
serious. Yeah, no, yeah, I see what you're
like.
saying.
I was like,
Yeah,
very
especially
serious.
before you were like,
That's
Yeah, exactly.
we was trying to tell Eli this a few nights ago about like when you're having a conversation, you start arguing, and then you feel shitty after. It's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
why did I have to do that? And I used to feel like that all the time in Utica College cafeteria.
Yeah.
Niggas been knowing me for the talking.
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
fact.
I used to kill every. I was thinking I was like 132-0 in arguments in the cafeteria.
132. That's a
Win
good
streak
number.
crazy. But I would have this crazy outburst, and I would literally feel shitty for the next hour or two. Like, why did I get out of character like that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm smart enough to express my point without doing all of that.
Exactly, and it's key to do that.
But
Now I'm calmed down. But back to your quantum.
Back to
physical
quantum
therapy.
biology. Physical therapy. Back to quantum biology. So I was thinking, right? If there's these invisible forces like death per se, and maybe everyone that dies does feel a certain sensation, maybe it's a tingling feeling in their stomach, whatever it is, right? And they're probably not aware because they've never experienced death before. I was thinking, right? Because as a kid, I was extremely scared of death. Like, extremely scared of death. What? Why is that
I
funny?
was also very scared of death.
Were you not
I don't
scared of
care
death?
anymore, to be
Nah,
honest.
bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I didn't want to tackle you.
Yo, what's good with you?
Yo, what's up,
Yo, I'm trying to
man?
think
Yo,
about
do some
war
breath.
and
Put
shit.
your shoulders back.
I would knock your fucking little.
I don't know what's going on.
I would knock that little
some breath.
brolic neck off.
Whoa.
I do need to breathe.
Pause.
We have to do some nutcrackers real quick. No homo.
We should.
Yo, we just said
I gotta-
three. We just had the trifecta of gate comments. You talking about nutcrackers? You talking about
Stretching dudes
stretching dudes out?
Why?
No, you said you stretching niggas out.
I think I need to stop saying no homo so often.
Why not? You're not homo.
I know.
Yo,
it's
you
not
know,
a-
you know who's the most phobic people? Gay people. Because they. No, I'm not even gonna say this. This is
That's
not.
chatting.
No. But I'm saying though, why can't you have your thoughts on something like? People have their thoughts on religions. Like, you could not follow a religion, but. And it might not be gay people. It might be this PC culture surrounding the gay acceptance movements, which I accept all gay people. I want people to express themselves truly, right? But it's like, yo, like if you can say no homo and not get killed for it.
Yeah. But also, yeah, I feel that. But then there are the seldom few that would feel some type of way. And I feel like you gotta, for some reason, I try to appease all people. You know? And if there's something I could avoid that's not gonna affect anybody over here, but then it's also gonna not affect these people that, I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. But I think there's ways to
No, you
please
try.
everybody.
Yeah, you try to. But there isn't really though.
There
and that's
isn't.
where the shout out to Donald Trump. That's why he was, I think, such a loved president by his base. Maybe he's hated from who he's not hated by.
Understatement.
Love. They fucking love this guy, man. And you can't please everybody. You got to play your base. We talked about this yesterday.
What you feeling
in
now?
life? I'm going to play my base. Hopefully I don't have too much people hating me, because it's another conversation I had yesterday. It's like, the more people that hate you, if you're playing a role in those people hating you, you don't love yourself, because you're just creating a bunch of bad energy on yourself. And that's why I hate people that flex on social media. Like, you're literally inviting the spirit of envy in your life.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
No, they not, bro. Instagram
Explain.
is.
There's a
Instagram-
fine line between the two.
That's true, but then don't be on Instagram looking at it like that. Because look, Instagram, you could be looked at as like so you know how you go to your grandmother's house. Listen,
Malcolm, I'm
why
sorry,
we arguing? Why are we
no,
arguing?
we're not arguing, but you don't do this. Like, you are I don't even understand why you're capping for these people right now, because you're the total opposite. You're not the braggadocious person.
That's a fact, but let me tell you like this. If someone's going to brag about it, let them brag about it. But look, here's the thing about Instagram. So you remember, you go to your grandmother's house, and you go to your grandmother's house, right? And damn, now you go through that photo book. You know what I'm saying? When you a little ass kid, blah, blah, blah. People could use Instagram for that reason.
For sure.
That's not what I was saying.
But then there's also people using it for the look at me.
So you know what you do with those people?
What?
Mute them.
Mute them.
Unfollow.
Yeah,
I would keep it simple.
But you're talking about from our perspective. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block and mute those people. I'm talking about from you as that person in your head. Why are you attracting that energy to your life?
And energy's a thing, bro.
That's true.
Energy's crazy.
That's a quantum biology right there.
To die or whatever.
Yes.
Gotta get hit by a car. Ooh, something's weird. And just, that's the quantum.
Energy
right
is
there.
a fact. And we're going to have the dude on the show. He's going to tell you how he was once that person. And it's exactly what I thought. Like, yo, you're attracting a lot of negative feelings. And that is honestly the purpose of social media, to attract envy. When you post yourself on vacation, or you post and it is in some way to attract envy. I don't care what anybody say. It is to balance the unbalance of you not feeling worthy. Because you know, when you look at a rapper, it's a reason why this generation is more depressed than any other fucking generation. It's because they look at other people and say, fuck, I'm not doing good in my life. So if you're not doing good in your life, or that's how you feel, what are you going to try to do? I'm going to try to get the get back. I'm going to try to make somebody else feel like shit, because I feel like shit. Hurt people. That's all social media is. It's hurt people trying to hurt other people, and it's a fucking positive reinforcement cycle going on.
That's definitely one way to look at it, but there's also many different ways. Like, I know if I'm ever feeling down and I'm looking at Instagram, whatever, I'm just like, oh man, like, this person's doing better than me. Or I'm under the illusion that this person's doing better than me. I try to do better, but not like outwardly.
Yeah, show it all. Yeah, exactly.
The energy.
I think you're also a smart and pretty secure guy. Same for you. You're pretty smart. You're insecure.
I'm very insecure.
You're insecure, but I don't think you're insecure to the point where you're gonna go out and try to buy $500 in clothes to impress a girl.
I don't have $500.
If you did, I don't think that would be the person that you would try to be.
Probably.
I think you're insecure because you know you have untapped potential, and that's where insecurity comes from. I'm talking about
that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the type of insecurity. Just like, fuck, I want to spend my last $500 on an outfit so I can impress motherfuckers at the club tonight.
People will never see again.
That disgusting type of insecurity.
That's sad, bro. If you living like that, I'll smack the shit out you.
There's a bunch of people living like that. You were born $400 Rap Simmons.
Come on, you know how to give it up.
Come on.
First phone positive step into the junior high school. First Rap Simmons is step into the high school. Stop playing.
Yo, what's up with your hand? You got a big ass bump on your hand.
I got no bump on my hand.
Right there. Look,
That's
right
his
there.
Wrist, my guy.
Is that a muscle?
That's his wrist.
This motherfucker, you see that? Oh, he been working out his meat.
That's a wrist muscle, bro.
He been working that wrist muscle. Come on. Nah, but can I finish telling y'all my little quantum biology thing? Maybe it's not that interesting.
No,
but I was thinking like, okay, people get that fit. Okay, I was on death.
Yeah.
I used to be really scared of death. Now I'm uncomfortably comfortable with the idea of death.
You should be.
And I'm thinking, right? But I'm thinking, is that a fucking scary thing? Is that inviting the energy like, bro, if I die, I die. It doesn't fucking matter. Is that inviting some sort of invisible energy to your life? And what made me think that is all these rappers right? It's a reoccurring theme. All these rappers that drop albums, we have famously XXXTentacion, Tupac, Biggie, right? Biggie dropped Life After Death. We know Tupac, he was infatuated with death. XXXTentacion was on IG Live a week before he died saying, if I die, you know what I mean? Is it a certain type of invisible energy that these guys kind of feel, and that quantum mechanics interfering with biology is the reason why they die?
It's a possibility. Yeah, it makes sense.
Does that sound crazy, Mel? No. Do you follow it at all? Because I don't know if that sounds crazy.
But I don't know if it's in this room. But like
what did you take before you
talking about death? I get chills on my back, and I'm not scared to die either.
He just wants to tackle you.
Nah, I don't know what's going on. Seriously, it's weird. You just talking about death, and it's like, damn, you really can't be. Maybe it's because you know your potential. You know, maybe if someone does kill you, you know that they fucked up because they violated someone that had more potential, and people have seen it. So I don't know.
So can I tell you, the relation with me and death is so weird, and I'm not infatuated with death, but I use death to motivate me, right? Because like if I have a bad day, I'm like, fuck, yo, I told myself I wasn't going to do this shit again, and here I am again. But then I think, listen, the only how I'm going to give up on myself is if I die. Because if I don't die, I'm going to continue pushing all my chips to the middle of the table and say, let's go. Right? And then in the same breath, another way that death helps me psychologically in a positive way is if I'm thinking like, yo, we all know that death is very realistic. The people around us can die at any point, right? Mm-hmm. Sad to say, it is what it is. That's one of the things I got from Stoicism, and that's why you should appreciate the people that you have around you on a daily basis. If you ever thought about, Leo, what if my girl dies? Like, I know there's people that think like that. You know, if I ever go into that spiral, what I think about, I'm worrying about people around me dying when I might die before all of them. And
that's some anxiety right there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It don't even bring anxiety, bro.
It's not bringing it. It's anxiety doing the work of thinking about what's to come.
Yeah.
The uncertainty of what's to come. That's why just living in that moment, that's what you got to do. Once you start thinking about what's to come, that might not come, what's going to happen that day, that's when these thoughts just start developing on their own, and they're just like, oh, that could happen. Things that... Anxiety is never right. Most of it's never right.
You think so? I don't agree with that.
Going into high school, I heard all these stories. Freshman Friday, you hear these stories like you're just getting bullied every Friday in high school. And first Friday of high school, I'm like, oh my god,
I'm a little white boy. I'm about to get taken advantage of.
I'm so scared. You hear about this one kid that got thrown down a flight of stairs, but you can't think about what you're doing. You're thinking about what's to come. Oh, I can't think about what I'm doing. I'm worried about what that person probably won't be doing to me.
Yeah.
I never got touched in high school. No homo.
Wow, because you was rolling with Mal Stone. Come on.
He wasn't even there.
I wasn't there.
QuantumBiology. They felt the energy of his
I was about to lead a
incumbent presence.
Nah, but anxiety is never what it is.
Yeah, facts.
I like
thoughts
that.
about anxiety are never what it is.
That is true because you don't know.
You don't know.
Unless you do.
And as long as you're taking the right steps to what you want, that's all you can do. And that's as long as you're being as true to yourself as possible, that energy fuels energy, bro.
The reason why I don't agree with 1000% anxiety is always wrong is because I think from number one, we could start talking about capitalism again, but maybe it's not solely capitalism. It's just the evolution of the human state in the sense that we have been a people of minimalism, right? We've hunted animals, we followed animals, we didn't have much. Now we live in a society where there's abundance, and human beings have never existed in that state prior to now, and as of very recently. And we've developed all these senses. I think anxiety was a sense developed for survival.
For sure.
Right?
Just that instinct.
Instinct, yeah. Now we don't use it that much. Right. But I do think that there's times that may pop up where, once again, quantum biology. I don't know shit about quantum biology, but I'm going to dive deep into it. Like, I really like the concept of it. maybe we get anxiety sometimes where, something might really be wrong, or it's warning us for something.
Yeah.
Because our ancestors, it's so deeply embedded in our DNA that our ancestors needed it for survival.
For sure. That makes a lot of sense.
It's just a funny balance, because now that we don't need all of those senses, it's probably a little hyperactive.
That's pretty cool to think. Like, a few hundred years ago, you would need that anxiety.
Yeah.
Now you're a whole different person because you don't need it.
One thou wow.
I think we let our...
Wow, we really
One
said
thou
that.
wow. I'm sorry. But think about you. Think about how this anxiety could help you. And this is what the scientists are saying, why quantum biology is it really helps you survive. What if you're in Africa, right? And you're laying in your hut and a bunch of lions are coming a mile away. You can't see, hear, or smell those lions yet. But maybe you get a weird feeling, and it's like, something is about to fucking happen. I don't know. Bro, for humans to survive in the fucking horrible conditions that we currently, we were started in, it had to be some of that.
For sure.
It's fight or flight anxiety.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in that situation, then that...
Not fight or flight, because you can't see or hear the lions, but you have a feeling like, I need to be alert, because I feel like something is about... Oh, shit, the lion is there.
Gandalf from Lord of the Rings sleeps with his eyes open.
I never watched Lord of the
People
Rings.
gun for that guy.
Word?
Yeah.
So what type of character is he? Like,
he's a wizard.
Okay.
I believe.
And
I
people are
gotta start
always
watching that more. What happened?
And people are always after him.
He's just a very powerful person, and
that's why
he's old. So he's been around, and he just sleeps with his eyes open.
That sounds interesting. I never even watched Lord of the Rings either.
I gotta get back on that.
See with that wop.
So as you say,
I haven't watched it in a while.
Like, you never finished it? Like, how does Lord of the Rings work? Is it like Harry Potter?
Yeah, I always thought that was the same show.
Fantasy. It's this guy Frodo comes into contact with this ring that was made in this volcano, but it's like a living volcano sort of thing. I don't even know exactly, but it was forged in the flames of that. That's what it's all about, in that volcano. And it's got special powers, and everybody wants it. Everybody wants it, and it's like such a treasured item that he has to destroy it by bringing it to the flames that it was forged in, by throwing it in there. And they have 3 movies worth of that.
So the wizard has that?
No, the wizard doesn't have it. The wizard tries helping him out. He meets up with the wizard, because the wizard's like, we gotta take care of this. We gotta do this. So Frodo's like a sort of a prophet kind of thing, and he just lives on this little village, and never left. And then he just embarks on this 3-movie journey.
Here's my thing with movies like that. Do you think those people took a drug and then those ideas just came out of nowhere? Or do you think that this is what runs through their head all the time? Like, maybe I just should create a fantasy world that this happened, so this will happen.
I think a lot could be expressing inside their mind, could be just an entire allegory, to like a metaphor for how they felt, or like something they've dealt with in their life. Like, I'm just going off making something up here. Like, what if that ring, to whoever wrote, I think who wrote Tolkien, the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings, the books, maybe it was like just some small insignificant thing that happened in his life, but it was significant to him. Like, to us, we don't know anything, but then he just was able to create this whole entire world of it. I know I find myself doing that sometimes.
I was about to ask you that. Like, do you do stuff like that?
I find myself, I'll look at something that I feel is either wrong with me, or something that I feel I could do. Or I'll just do a lot of inward thinking, inward vision. I don't even know.
Wait, you said inward?
Inward. Look inward.
Yeah.
Inward?
Inward.
Instead of outward.
No, inward. The N-word you said?
Oh, shit. Yo, cancel him. Cancel him. But listen though. You had to leave on that one. But no, Malcolm, and the quantum biology in this room is crazy right now. Like, we hitting on all levels. What did I come into this room and said to you earlier?
Yo,
do you remember what I said to you earlier before we started the show?
Are you ready to pod?
No, I said I feel like I've been chosen.
Yeah.
What do you think I meant by that? And you asked the perfect question. You asked it. You said it. Do people just think these stuff, or do they take a drug, or maybe in your regular state, maybe your mind can create drugs, because drugs are just hormones or chemicals that affect your state of mind, right? So maybe you have those chemicals in your body that can give you a certain state of mind where you go into this deep thinking, and these ideas come to you. And I think ideas are an external energy of the universe that chooses specific people, right? Like J.K. Rowling, the guy who created what book did he write? Harry Potter, right?
J.K. Rowling's a female.
Female power, the lady. Sounds like a guy. Jake Rowling. J.K. or Jake Rowling. Jake, come here.
Imagine your wife.
But
just J.K.
Oh, J.K.
I don't know what it stands for.
Just kidding. Women can't write books. But listen though. That's crazy.
Yo, you in here,
Why
Joe?
would I say that? No.
Yeah,
You in here, Joe?
Wild.
Woman right. Nah, we wild.
That's what they were saying, like,
but listen, though,
middle school.
Yeah,
but
I got that from you.
What? I never said that. I'm playing. I probably did.
I truly do believe that ideas are an energy source, something floating in the air that chooses specific people. And that's maybe how these alternate universes are created. And my thing is, okay, you look at history, right? And this, I'm not even going to break it down again, but being aware of the Terence McKenna time theory is what leads me to believe this even more, because the ideas are the strings, the ropes that are pulling us to the eventual end that is already planned, right? We look at history, and there are these great minds. Elon Musk is the most recent one. Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, the guy who created the airplane, the guys who created the electricity. Alexander Graham Bell, is that his name? Who created electricity?
Ben Franklin discovered, conduct the whatever.
He was the one flying the kite and got zapped or something like that. But yeah, like you look at these guys and they're all so fucking intelligent. And if you really do read their stories, it's almost like they were chosen. Right? Because not only do they stop at one creation, just like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, they've affected a bunch of shit, right? Jeff Bezos, he started off selling books, and the ideas chose him. He was chosen. Like, bro, we are choosing you to carry out the work that we have to carry out to get this universe to where it needs to be.
New retail.
Huh?
The new retail.
The iPhone, which is gonna play the most important role of integrating technology with human beings.
I think a lot of what just like people that get shit done, it's just confidence to me. Not to negate what you're saying about being chosen, which I'm not too keen on that idea, but
not chosen as far as idea wise. Like, who gave Steve Jobs the idea of the iPhone? Like, this did not exist before.
Right.
I think he
wanted to live in a world with that.
You wrote stand-up comedy before.
Yep.
Do you plan out the funniest jokes, or do they just kind of appear in your mind?
I definitely have a lot of duds, but then you gotta sift through them and find the ones that work.
But sometimes the idea just hits you, right?
Sometimes I can't stop thinking at all times, so I'm always writing things down, and sometimes I'll find something I'm like, all right, let me star this, or the idea just keeps flowing, and I get an entire 2-minute bit out of this one idea that I see. But it's just like, you see life, you live your life, and then these visions and all these senses are working, and it just goes through a filter, some sort of filter, whatever it may be. Some people come up with iPhones, and they just, that something just clicks, this thought, and then that thought just goes on its own, and then that could also go in a negative way.
And guess what? 1,000 years from now, that
change the world.
Individual fucking thought is going to changing the world. It might be the world.
Yeah.
Just one tiny seed.
Right.
I don't think a human controls that. I think that's the energy that finds a human.
What's a tree?
A little fucking seed.
Little seed.
Look at my dick. Pre and post erection. That's a great example for life. From nothing, much can come. Pause. Yo, we wilding on this show right now.
But why are you saying you are the chosen one? You didn't even tell us why.
What have you done?
You said why all the other people.
I'm not gonna give you guys the ideas right now because I want to keep it to myself. I haven't done anything, but I've just been, and that's what I bought this book here.
For greatness.
I bought this book here because I wanted to talk about some of the stuff I've been writing down. But like, I do a lot of writing, and I like after you write stuff and you go back and you read it, and you're like, wow, I think I might have figured something out.
Is that everything you write?
No. This is my idea book. This is when I'm really in the deep think tank and I really want to fucking just get
book
to
that
it.
You just write just thoughts down and then you transfer them to that.
If it's nothing that I think is too crazy, I'll just write it in my notes.
Okay.
But if it's some like, eventually I'll get to it. I don't want to come in here and sound idiotic. I want to flesh it out properly. Of course. But I do feel like I'm cooking up some fucking genius ideas, man.
As long as you stick to the idea and you put your energy and focus into that idea, it could be whatever you want.
It can come too. It can come too.
And depends how confident you are in that idea too, where you can start swaying people's opinions on things.
And guess what? I'm doing the best job to sway opinions.
You're good at speaking, so
right, exactly.
You could get people to
believe.
I just Hitler.
Whoa.
Look at Hitler, bro.
Whoa. Do you hear this guy just compared me to? This guy is fucking crazy. I wish you got bullied in high school.
Why?
Did you get bullied in high school?
My brothers, we used to bully this guy. We used to call him Muffin.
You guys grew up across from each other, right?
A couple doors down. We used to call this guy Muffin, and he wasn't about it.
How did you guys feel when the first black family moved into the neighborhood?
It wasn't the first black family, but
you guys aren't special.
He moved into my best friend's house. My best friend moved, and they moved into it. So I was like a little salty. But, I mean, it was pretty quick when we became boys.
When I first, we were driving. It's like second day moving in. And I seen this guy getting ready for football practice outside in his front door. I thought he was a midget. And I was like, yo, I was so convinced that they had a midget in their family. I'm like, yo, this was a midget. And then
so what's worse, him judging me for being a midget or me judging them for being black? Wait, I don't even think you could say midget anymore.
You can. What are you supposed to say?
Short person?
Little people. I don't know.
All right, bro. They doing too much at this point.
And y'all already disagree, but I'm going to say it, and we going to make the people make the decision. But just as, I forgot what it was. Like, I forgot. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if I could say the word on here. Yeah. The R word, should I say it?
Oh, we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah. But, okay, I'm not saying it. Like saying it, I'm just saying it so you guys understand what it is. For conversation purposes. The R word, which is retarded, which is by all accounts a scientific word. However, in the past couple 50 years, has had a negative connotation, and it's not socially acceptable anymore. Is that right to say?
For sure.
Because it's disrespectful.
I don't know how scientific it is, though.
It's called mental retardation.
Not anymore, though. Like, things change.
What would you think would come up if I Googled mental retardation?
Oh, you got your computer right there.
Okay. So while I look this up, so I'm thinking like, okay, people judge people for saying mental retardation. All that is a defect of the human condition, right? The human body. But we insult all the other shortcomings of the human body all the time. Like we say it's very, and you guys never heard it before, but it's very common to say, oh, something is falling on deaf ears. Right. Well, how do deaf people feel about that?
Right. I thought about that after we had this conversation the other day. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I don't know. Just know your audience, if you ask me. If somebody's going to feel some type of way if you're saying derogatory things about a certain person, about a certain group of people, know your audience. It's called
MR. Mental retardation. MR refers to substantial limitations in present functioning. It starts before the age of 18 and is characterized by significantly sub-average intellectual functioning. It's literally
in sports now, they don't say the disabled list. It's the
what do they say?
The injured reserves.
Word.
They don't want to say disabled.
So it was the DL before?
DL. Now it's the IR. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Injured
That's
reserve.
so. I guess that's not stupid, but you remember like when in the middle of the George Floyd situation, apparently Texas banned calling something a master bedroom
Really?
because apparently it was racially insensitive.
Oh, I never thought about that being. But that's definitely, I don't know.
But it made sense though. Like, what? Why would you call the biggest bedroom in the house the master bedroom?
Right.
It would make
about
sense
that.
in a slavery term. Like,
Right.
hey, that's the master's bedroom. Like, that's the biggest motherfucking bedroom in here.
Yeah.
Like,
But then master also just means like the master.
right?
Would you name your kid Master?
Not as a black person. I don't think as a white
don't
person
think-
you should either.
Do people name their kids master?
Yeah, the Ohio State running back. His name is Master T the Third.
Is he white?
No, he's black.
What if-
Master
what-
T?
And he really be mastering every motherfucking defense that try him.
But you know the reason why I
that's
don't like that name? Because if a white person was to do it, it would be a fucking issue.
Would
That's
it?
true.
I feel like
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, because of the history behind Master and
Yeah,
a white person.
I know, but-
Yeah, that would be a big problem.
I
But
tell you,
Jay-Z said he'll name his son Master.
If you cut anything a certain way, it could have some negative connotations to it.
That's true.
As a white person, do you feel like there's certain limitations on things you can do that should be regularly accepted? Maybe if you're a white person in Spain, but in America, due to the racial tension, you can't do or say certain things.
Definitely under a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is at all times nowadays. It feels like
What are some of
anybody
those
says,
things? What are some of those things?
I don't know, just like saying retarded, saying just anything you say, just make sure you're saying the right thing to the right people.
Right,
Know
right,
your
right.
audience. We'll come back to that.
Know your
Know
audience.
your audience.
Don't be on Twitter and then get upset when people are calling you out for being a bigot. You know, you're saying some some things that you know. I hope you know that the grand population doesn't agree with.
Facts.
I know Twitter's a scary place but it's like so weird now because Twitter is like all about censorship, and now they're starting to censor.
Is that what they were?
They're kinda,
Is that what they initially marketed as? The place where you
know,
could just
but
be raw and
you there's porn on Twitter and stuff.
yeah.
There's anything you could think of is on Twitter, but now they're starting to crack down but I don't know.
Those used
What's
to
the
be some
dude's
good
name?
scrolling
JackDorsey?
sessions. Yeah, JackDorsey. Yeah.
Investigate that guy. We investigated Mark Zuckerberg.
Why?
I'm
What's
scared to
wrong
say-
with him? Does he own an NFL team?
Who? Jack Dorsey?
Yeah, Jack Dorsey.
I have no idea.
I think so. But go ahead. What was you
But
saying?
just you put all your information on that. You got drafted tweets. I don't know. Like Mark Zuckerberg got in trouble for having all these people's messages, whatever it was, and you could put more on Twitter than you can on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what kind of
Well,
information that guy may have.
Yeah, let's know. I mean, they all have
Somebody
all of our
call
informations.
Who's Snowden?
Sit.
Edward Snowden.
Who's that?
He worked for the CIA. He was the one that discovered that the government's like listening
Spying
in
on
our
us.
calls and
Oh,
checking our
shit.
emails and stuff. And he got ostracized. Ostracized is the word?
No,
for that?
he left. They're trying to
They were-
arrest him and kill him right
yeah,
now.
they were trying to take him down, and he was on the run, and he's living in Russia now. But
in an undisclosed location. He said he has to
Undisclosed.
move like every couple of weeks or every month. He has to move because he doesn't know if someone's trying to kill
Right.
him, and he speaks openly about it. He's like, I'm
he
not
got banned from the
afraid.
country. He's not allowed in the country.
He's like, I'm not afraid. No, it's not that he's not allowed in the country. If
I
he
thought he got
comes,
banned.
no, it's not a ban. If he comes back to the country, he would be killed.
Oh, so it's
Yeah, like
witch hunt.
if you get deported, you're banned from the country and you're not going to be allowed in. But they want him to come back to America.
so they can murk him.
Yeah, they want
They
to.
can't murk him overseas.
They don't know where he's
probably
at.
can.
He,
They got
yeah, I
Bin
think
Laden.
he works with he used to work with the CIA. He's probably a smart guy in his own right, and he knows how to get the fuck out of the way. And by the way, Russia, yes, he calls in from these undisclosed locations on Zoom onto Rogan, which is hot. Imagine having the most discreet person in the world on your show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was big when he was on Rogan for the first
I had
time.
to watch it. I'm like, yo, no one knows where this dude is, and he is on Joe fucking Rogan.
Because at first I was like, oh, is he on in the studio.
Yeah.
But he was just on the TV. And that was the first time they did that. Now he does it all the time because of COVID. And
they gonna fucking kill Rogan, bro.
I don't know.
So I was watching. Do you know Lex something? Fuck, I forgot his full name, but it's Lex. He has a podcast. He always wears a black and white suit, right? And he's been on Rogan a few times, and he's deep into like AI. And he's a very deep intellectual thinker, right? And that guy and someone else who has been on Rogan for a few times, they were just talking like, yo, it's not a coincidence that, first of all, Spotify signed Joe Rogan, didn't try to censor him. Right. The most uncensored guy, like if you know Rogan, which I would assume if you're a company that's going to invest $150 million into someone, you would know what they're about. Right. They're trying to censor him. Right. And I think because...
What was that first thing that they censored him on?
They told him he couldn't upload the Alex Jones episode. He couldn't upload any episode with... what's one of his buddies that... He's an MMA coach, but he's deep into conspiracy theories. But a bunch of these guys, they was like, no. Anything...
Eddie Bravo?
Eddie Bravo. But even with... When he had Alex Jones on... And I forgot the other guy's name. He's a really talented speaker too. Spotify gave him shit for it. He's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do it. Right?
It's corporations for you, man.
It's corporations. But they were saying, because apparently they say Joe Rogan is this far right guy.
Okay.
Right? And he fucking hates Joe Biden, which he does. He hates Biden. Mm-hmm. He's way more of a Trump supporter than Biden. And there's like, bro, that's not going to go well. And his friends was having this conversation, deeply concerned. Like, I think they're going to try to kill Rogan. You look at what happened to Chris D'Elia, one of Rogan's best buddies. All of a sudden, these rape allegations comes out of nowhere. And a month...
Was it rape? I thought it was...
It was him talking to underage girls. He was grooming
like, when you
girls.
turn 18.
Which, I'm not trying to be salacious. What the fuck is the issue with if you're talking to a 17-year-old girl? I won't do it. But legally, what's the issue if you're talking to a 17-year-old girl and she says, you know what? I'm 17. And you say, okay, honey, see me in a year. Right. That seems like the right thing to do, right?
It's the responsible thing, I guess.
It's the legal thing.
I'm not going to do it. I mean, it's the legal thing to do.
Let's say we're not attracted to young girls like that. But what if you are attracted to young girls and you have the fucking the control?
Like,
you have
like almost 40 is what's weird about it.
It is weird. But what if you are a pedophile?
Okay.
And you have the fucking self-control to say, you know what? I am not going to sleep with any underage women. I'm only going to sleep with women of age.
But that's not what a pedophile is. A pedophile is into kids.
But what if... Maybe D'Elia is into kids and he could control himself to the point where he decides not to sleep with underage kids.
Right.
But even
that's a smart thing to do to not get in trouble. Like, he didn't get in trouble. He just got canceled.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, people were just like, you're a weirdo for that.
Yeah. He doesn't even do his podcast anymore.
His podcast had, I only liked his clips. I
liked his podcast because I understood the talent of it. I don't think it was the most entertaining, but I understood the talent. You sitting in front of a screen by yourself, having an hour-long conversation by yourself. It's pretty fucking hard, right? We find it hard here to fill time sometimes, and it's both of us. Imagine if it's by yourself, you know what I mean? Brian Callen comes out that, apparently he rapes women now.
What? When was this?
So Brian Callen has a rape allegation.
Really?
From 20 years ago. And this was right around the time when Rogan got this massive fucking deal.
Oh, really?
He doesn't do the fighter and the kid anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Brendan Sharp does it by himself. But back to the original point, like, I think they're trying to get Rogan the fuck out of here, bro. Yo, he's too powerful.
They're always coming. Yeah, he's way too powerful. And also, he doesn't care. He's got his following of guys that, whoever, who appreciates his work, Fear Factor to the Joe Rogan experience. And it's like Trump. They got the people that disagree with everything he says, and he's got the grand following. Even
more than that, Joe Rogan is literally a father to fatherless young men, I think. He's Oprah. He's like, I think a lot of young men, bro, who don't have father figures, they look at someone they have the number one thing that we all value in the capitalist society, which is money. number 2, which is maybe being funny and able to talk, because as a man, you want to be able to talk and be funny around women.
Is he on YouTube still?
He's still on YouTube. I think it ends December 31st.
You could learn more from Joe Rogan for free than you can by going to college.
Absolutely.
You really think that though?
You can but
do
people
that
are not going to use it in that way. We
you're not
know
getting
that.
a degree.
That's true, but yeah, like I look at it as like this though. Yeah, you could watch it, but like, what are you really doing?
Like, look, no,
are people really implementing whatever?
Depends how you want
to
take it. If you're just listening to it for the quick little fill, quick fix, or you can. He's about to pull out some notes.
No, I was literally watching a Joe Rogan clip. I can't find it. It's probably deep in here somewhere, but. It was literally a clip. I'm literally taking notes like, wow, that is a novel idea. That is so smart. I'm going to do a research on that. You can really learn a lot. But the thing is, when you go to a classroom, you go to college, you're in a structure that is conducive to learning. So you're probably going to learn. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
If you're at home on YouTube, you're probably being a lazy shithead that is not going to learn anything.
Right. College for me was weird because I didn't want to learn anything. But the things I started going down a path of things I did want to learn, and I feel like that's what it's all about. But at first, I took far too long in college, so I was just over it. But I was definitely just going through the motions for years before I actually found something I was interested in. So depends how you want to use these tools that.
Absolutely. I tell my mom that all the time. My mom is a very strict, just go to college, get your degree, and then go to college, get another degree, and life is made. And that is not a bad...
Are you getting your another degree?
I'm going to school for nursing.
Is that a degree
it's called a BSN, Bachelor's in Nursing. Okay. Yeah. But for me personally, like, and this is the thing, like, I love nursing and I want to go to school for it. I am going to go to school for it. But I just wish maybe I took a year from school and sit back and say, oh, I think being a nurse is where what I want to do. Is good for security. It's good because I actually enjoy the job. Why the fuck would I even go to school for the other bullshit degree that I got? Because I literally wasted 4 years and over $200,000. Do you know how much podcast studios I could have had with that?
That's a fact. That's
they
a
don't
thing.
Tell you that. They don't tell you that. At 17, 18 years old, they're not like, you could either go to college and then you could take out a loan to go to college. But if you want to take out a loan to start a business that you got an idea for, you're going to have to show some credit, this, and the other thing. But if you want loans for school that you don't even know what you're doing.
Let me tell you this, and this is why it's so important to have a good structure as a parent too. And this is not going against any parent right now. If you're a parent, you know, taking shots at no one parent because you don't know what you don't know. You're learning. Yeah, you learn. You don't know what you don't know. And I always tell kids, if I'm talking like this to a kid, I go, look, you don't blame your parents because we have technology. We know more stuff than they did at our age. Like, all they knew was this and this, and that's fine. But that's why it's good to have a good structure as a parent. That's why you need to be a parent. That's why you need to have a 2-home household. That's why you need money for reasons like that. Because you don't have to, as we know, you don't want to have your kid, just go to college. Like, and as a parent, you think your job is made. My kid is in college, so when they talk to their friends, my kid is in college. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And instead, you could use that money, and God forbid your kid has an idea. Okay, think about it. Jeff Bezos, all the top guys, Donald Trump, they got lump sum of money. Mm-hmm. You understand? You know, and maybe they didn't have a lot of kids, a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, but they had help. And yes, there is people that had, horrible situations and got it how they live. But that's why it's so strong to have a family, a 2-parent household, making money, making smart moves with your money to help your kid. For steps like that, so where they don't have to go through the feeling of like, damn, I'm just going to college because that's the norm thing to do, and then you take out the lump sum loan, and then there's also the Parent Plus loans, which get the parents. That's why financially is the number 2 most important thing. 1 is health, then 2 is financial, because you need to learn how to move like this, or now as a 20-year-old, you feel like, damn, I took a few steps behind.
Is it sad? Fuck. This is going to be a bad transition because there's a lot of things you said that I want to talk about. But is it sad that the number 2 thing in that hierarchy is finances?
I like money. I like when I get paid and I dish money when I like that shit. That's like a drug to me. I get money and I gotta pay a bill. I need to pay someone, pay anything. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like. Yeah, that's true.
Where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
But like I said, it depends on the person. Anything in life is dependent on the person. It feels like at the end of the day, because I can give you a handful of people, a lot of people that like money. You could show me a handful of people, but that's the thing. You could show me a handful of people, a lot of people that don't like capitalism, that don't like money, that don't like money. No, but what I'm saying is, whatever you're about to say, I know people that like the opposite of it.
Shooting out my point before I even say it.
Because you just made a weird face when I said I know people that like money. A lot of people.
No, I think everyone likes money.
But like financial shit for it, like what to do with their money, what you can do for money. There's an art to this shit, and that's the cool thing about it. There's an art to your own life. There's an art of what you're studying. There's an art. You have to study finance. There's an art to it.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm not talking about studying finances. Being financially intelligent is something totally different. I'm talking about the fact that money is the number 2 thing in the hierarchy of importance in life. When has this been a thing? What, for the past 300, 400, maybe 500 years? Humans have been around.
Possessions in general.
That's it.
But you need a third party.
Look, listen to what I'm saying. Possessions, right? And you said capitalism, right? Me and Mal, I've been personally studying Karl Marx and his take on it and how it breeds unhappiness, because possessions, yes. Back in the day, everyone created their possessions and they were able to derive happiness from creating that possession, right? Money wasn't the most important thing. It was having enough possessions to survive. And besides that, you create something, for example, a chair, you're able to see that through fruition, and you get a certain type of happiness from creating that chair. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think it's sad that money is a number 2 thing, because I don't think money makes the things that we have to do to make money in this society makes no one happy. Because at the end of the day, money is just a means to an end. And then to get to that means, we have to go through a whole bunch of other means, like fucking working in a warehouse and throwing red boxes to the right, yellow boxes to the left. That brings no type of happiness to your life. Right. But guess what? You have to do that to get to that one thing that is going to bring you somewhat happiness, right? We're talking about intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivations. Musicians, rappers, actors, there's a reason why we envy these people, because the way they make money, the gap from here to money is intrinsically motivating them. I get happiness out of acting. I get happiness out of making music. Right. But when you have to depend on an extrinsic motivation, which is, I'm just going to do this just to get to that factor, like work in an office or work in a fucking factory, that shit is deeply fucking depressing.
For sure. It's the system. It's the whole system.
Yes.
It's just the system.
Don't blame the system. The system is beautiful.
Well, no,
it works beautiful.
Yes, that's the thing, man. I'm not saying fuck the system. I'm just saying, that's why I ask you, is it sad that money is number 2 in the hierarchy? I think it's personally sad.
You can get out of the system.
No, you can't.
You could get out of the system.
10 times easier than you did before.
You could get out of the system because you just got to eat shit for a while.
Exactly.
How do you get out of the capitalist system right now?
Create your own business.
You just become a part of the system.
That's what capitalism
So you want to defeat? I can't argue with you. You want to defeat? I love capitalism, so I'm not gonna defeat you and say that you can't overturn capitalism. I can't give you an answer for that.
What I'm saying for the system is, you got these bills, whatever. You're working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then you get hit with these bills.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it is, and you're losing all that work that you did. Is just going to that. That's the system right there.
You can lose becoming a bitch of the system. Is basically what you're trying to say.
It's mindset's the whole thing.
Yes.
Mindset. If you want to get out of that system, you could always be in the system, but you're not going to be a victim of the system.
That's what I'm saying. Not being a bitch of. And this is the thing with Malcolm. Like, Malcolm, you know me. I'm not saying that I'm not playing the game of the system or I'm complaining.
It's a game.
Yeah, bro. You know I have the mindset to go and get it, bro.
That's a fact. I'm not saying you.
My only thing is, like, I understand where that happiness comes from. And personally, I don't even be thinking about myself. I'm one of the most selfless persons anyone is ever going to come across. I'm thinking about all the other people that are not as strong as me and is not as strong as us. That's going to be like, but I feel sorry for those people, and you don't. And I do.
What it is,
and I don't feel that way.
I'm gonna tell you what to do. If you want to, but listen, I'm gonna help him out. I'm going to bring kids into this world,
Nick,
and I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna tell y'all what to do right now. What you gotta do? Mindset number 1.
Pen and paper, real quick.
Yes, look, seriously, this is what you really got to do. Are we talking about kids? Or are we talking about our age?
I'm talking about everybody.
Everyone, yo, this is what you got to do. Go on Tweet Talk podcast. Go listen to Todd Billy. Go watch some Dame Dash interviews. Go listen to Earn Your Leisure.
And they're gonna make you not happy. You're gonna be fucking. Yes, problems are gonna be solved. Listening to Dame Dash.
Let him talk.
That's not the.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you wildin'. Yeah. So like I said, we're gonna listen to Tweet Talk, Todd Billy podcast. Shout out to Todd Billy and Ralph husband. You're gonna listen to Earn Your Leisure because it's gems after gems. You know, straight business people speaking on there. If you got a problem with anything, you got Dame Dash. You know what I'm saying? Go listen to Nipsey Hussle. Go listen to Larry June. You know, go be motivated. Stop being a bum. Go change what you look at.
But there are people that
go change what you look at. Go change what you look at. And listen,
I'm talking about.
But there are definitely people that are fine with their living situation.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's people who aren't, but
I'm not talking to them then.
Right, exactly. If you want to make the change, it's entirely up to you.
Go on YouTube.
And within your power, you could literally do anything you want to do.
Thank you.
You just gotta do it. Nothing good happens. Nothing good just happens. You gotta go get
government never gonna come save you.
One thing about Malcolm is he thinks that because he says something that sometimes is completely unrelated to what I say, he somehow feels that you answer what I said. I'm gonna ask you a question and then we could drop this conversation because I think when I discuss it, you go off on these tangents telling people to learn about finances. Like that has anything to me talking about the unhappiness that comes from the masses of people living in the capitalist society.
Learn finances.
You tell them go listen to Todd Billy, go listen to Dame Dash.
That's not finances. That's telling you to boss up, be a man.
What is bossing up?
He teaching you how to be a parent. He teaching you how to move as you know.
How
what I'm
does
saying?
that relate to what I said?
Because they are slaves to the capitalism. Change your mindset to like, yo, I'm the fucking boss. I'm here to go do it. It teaches you what you can do with your money. It teaches you to connect with people. Think about it. If you can't go around asking the person, if you want to make a certain amount of money and you go to the person you're working with.
I'm not talking about making money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the unhappiness that comes from the. Do you agree? One second, Mal. So let's not yell.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
So if you look, asking to ask a question. Let me ask a question first.
If you look to the person to your right and you go, yo, how do you feel happy? And he can't tell you the answer. No one can tell you the answer to get out that situation. But if that person finds happiness,
let's get off this I don't even know what you're talking about at this point.
Yo, listen to Mally's side.
I just went to money, and then now I'm talking about happiness. So what we trying to get to?
That's what I started with. You were the one who jumped to money. My number one thing.
I just asked you a question about happiness, and you just said let's end the conversation.
You said skin relief hand cream.
You said Malcolm.
Nick, I'm confused. Can we answer my question?
What was your question?
See, you didn't even listen to me. I started talking about happiness. You said let's end the conversation, but you are talking about happiness. You don't even make sense.
What was the conversation?
Tell me what you got.
No, my number one question to you was, and both of you guys can answer. Is it plausible? Is it a fact that we are living in times with the most depressed people, with the highest rates of suicides?
I don't know.
Yes, it is, and that's why I said build a strong foundation as a parent, bro.
All right. Whatever. And do you guys think that there's a reason for that?
Social media,
high level?
Yeah, social media is definitely a thing. But also, we're also learning that this old way of thinking, these boomers, and I mean, these people are hardened by life. Like the parents of our generation, and their parents before them lived 2 wars, Vietnam, 3 wars, however many wars. There's just war after war, and just everything was weird. Everything was dirty. True. And now we're just learning that old way of thinking doesn't have to be what it is. But we're still living in that environment of that's what it is, and you got these people putting their opinions onto you, and it affects the mindset for sure.
The old way of thinking is never the way to think. That's why it's old. Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's an old way of thinking. Like the world is moving forward, so the more and more that the old people have a stronghold on the world, is actually being held back. Right.
Yeah.
I think the government would be better off run by 30 and 40-year-olds
for sure.
With a few,
Joe Biden's 80 years old. About to be 80 soon.
What the fuck is he gonna do other than take a nap every noon?
So what the guy? The youngest guy we had was Barack Obama. So
Was
we
he?
need a guy
He
like
was
that.
40 something, right?
44.
Technically,
No,
but as we said, age was relative. Technically, all the other presidents before him was younger.
I think anybody over like 40 is a weirdo.
Isn't that
What word?
I think people in their 30s are weirdos, but people in their 40s and up, they got this different way of thinking from us.
Maybe
from
I'm
younger people.
around different 40 and 40
I don't know
year
many
olds.
40-year-olds.
Like my aunt is like 45, and I'd be like, "Yo, your dad's 45. Like you don't act like what I thought a 45-year-old should have acted like."
Actually, you know what I'm thinking?
That's one.
People in their 50s and up, not 40, because 40's like the new 30. What did I say?
40 is the new 30.
Yeah, 40's the new 30.
Yeah, I think my 50 might be the new 30. Like I see some 50-year-olds like, "Oh wow, you look great and you seem vibrant."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Young and vibrant.
Let's talk about Mally's song.
Nah, fuck Mally's song. Do you guys have the song queued up
I got it.
so
here.
we could play it and let the people know what's going on?
It's a long song.
Wait, is it on? It's on Apple Music?
Nah, I just got to download onto that.
We keep fucking up. We should bring the thing to put it into the microphone.
There's Juice, Khalik Evans.
Let's get it. I'm just chilling, riding by myself. RJ Key,
This is a freestyle by this guy. It's long.
They put Mally on the last.
Yeah, you want me to go to his part?
Nah, let's listen to it.
The Kid Juice. With a box of juice.
Apple juice on the side with an apple bottom, bitch. And you know we stay high, stay smoking on the piff. Fuck it, I bend the bitch over. I stay riding in the drop top Range Rover.
Drop top Range Rover wasn't even a thing yet.
Go to Mally part. I don't like this dude.
Not he's 2 minutes in.
He was wilding
2
like
minutes
that?
in, he's still freestyling.
Wait, were you on this song too, Bella?
Nah. 220. 220, he's spitting. Here, wait, so cool eating soul food.
This
Hold on,
nigga.
this comes Mally. Mally got a little bridge. Here's Mally. Hey, the auto tune. This is Paul coming up.
Wait, that's Malcolm's whole part?
Nah. I gave you my numbers in hopes that you would text me.
So wait, Mal, you did the hook?
Bro, just
There's no hook.
Bro.
But
That's some New York stuff right here.
man, what you on right now, bro?
Why you ain't just listening?
Young Franks.
I be eating hot dogs, young Frank.
Sound queer.
Hold on, this is Mally's part.
Different LeBron, the old Cavalier. Checks finally in, yeah, it's finally here. If you don't feed me, I turn to a fucking bear. I scratch in ones, I scratch in twos. I got a lot of money.
Cash rules.
Got a bad bitch, fat ass, new kicks. And you already know, might kick her out the house. Kick her out the house. Got no bitch to cook for me. Got a fat bitch, she like to eat.
I think he might get canceled for that.
She like a snakes. Got a thick bitch. She love my meat. Got a whole lot of bitches that love me.
I was really trying to hate on that. That was pretty good.
How old were you? Like 14?
I've been in the trenches.
That's TK right there.
Yeah, exactly. You already know. Shooting people.
You didn't know nothing.
Nah,
TK
14,
was
15.
killing people.
Yeah, he was wilding.
Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed the trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck?